Will said he might run for president. Let's talk about you as the first lady. What will be your initiative?
Well, I told him that there's no way he could run for president because nobody wants me as the first lady, and I don't want to be the first
me?
lady.
I want you as the first. I want to know how I can get you as the first lady, but get rid of him as the president.
Please. But my initiative would be education, no doubt, for sure.
Are you serious about that?
No.
You know,
I can answer that for you. He's not serious about it at all.
you know, it's something. I said it jokingly-ish.
Ish, right?
Ish, you know. I do feel that there's an impact. You just shaking your head.
Could you handle the Donald?
I was joking.
Could you handle the Donald in debate though? Because you're a quick, fast, funny guy, and he is an all-out brutal attacker. He goes right for the jug.
That would be very easy.
Yeah.
I would handle that quite
Smith
well.
versus Trump. I go with
The exchange between Will Smith and Donald Trump centers on Smith's critique of Trump's political rhetoric, particularly policies like border walls and immigration bans, which Smith argues contradict American ideals of inclusivity and freedom.
And as painful as it is to hear Donald Trump talk, and as embarrassing it is as an American to hear him talk, I think it's good. We get to hear it, we get to know who people are, and now we get to cleanse it out of our country.
Before we talk about this excellent movie, man, I watched your interview yesterday, and you said that there was a higher calling for you, that you may run for president. When Kanye said it, I didn't take it seriously. There was a serious look in your eye.
Yeah, you know, I was saying that sort of half jokingly, but working on this film. So we've been working with Dr. Omalu, and one of the first things he said to me in our initial meeting was, he said he was a little boy growing up in Nigeria, and heaven was here, and America was here. He said to him it was the place where God sent all of his favorite people. Yeah. You know, so he really jarred me and sort of reminded me what it is to be
Smith framed his comments around the uniqueness of the U.S. as a nation where diverse identities, including his own, can thrive. His use of the word cleanse sparked debate, interpreted by some as a rejection of Trump's divisive politics rather than a literal call to remove supporters. Trump, known for retaliating against critics, has yet to directly...
So going back to Will Smith's comments first, we'll get to Antonio Sabato Jr. in a second, but Will Smith, he's embarrassed to be American because of the things that Donald Trump has been saying.
Here's the thing. This is not to defend what Will Smith said, because that's not my job. He can say whatever he wants. He's a Hollywood actor. He's not accountable to the American people. He doesn't have to be politically correct. He doesn't have to, as somebody like Donald Trump say, have to mind what he says. There's absolutely no responsibility whatsoever. So the idea that kind of actors mouth off about political candidates is not a new story. I don't really know why we're giving it time, to be honest.
But painful and embarrassing. Did he go...
Got him and smacked him. It was really great. Other people should do that. Will Smith is a really great guy, and I love what he did to the wise guy. So Will Smith, I congratulate you. That was great. I only wish you hit him hard.
It was the only place that I could even exist.
Yeah.
No other country on earth would allow me to even exist the way that I exist. So when I hear people talk about walls and unconstitutional religious bans, it inspires me and lets me know there's more work that I feel like at this point in my career, I've earned the right to fail, right? So I'm gonna take shots, and I'm not gonna hit them all, because I'm gonna be trying really wild, aggressive, creative.
Address Smith's remarks in depth, but his predictable playbook, name-calling, deflection, and playing the victim suggests he would dismiss Smith as a washed-up actor or deflect to unrelated grievances. This dynamic highlights Trump's insecurity about his cultural legitimacy, particularly when challenged by figures like Smith, who embody mainstream Hollywood success and credibility. Smith's critique carries weight due to his long-standing cultural influence as an A-list actor and his recent unapologetic public persona.
The American ideals and values, and America's the only place that I could even exist.
Yeah.
No other country on earth would allow me to even exist the way that I exist. So when I hear people talk about walls and unconstitutional religious bans. It inspires me and lets me know there's more work that I have to do. It's like I won't allow that. We're not going to reach for our lower selves. Yes, we're all fearful, but the beauty of being American, as I saw through Dr. Omalu's eyes, is when we're scared, we reach for our higher selves.
Hey, Mr. Trump. Hey, how you doing? Will Smith. Hey, listen, you are getting a great house here, and this is quite a deal you're getting for it too. Look, I'll tell you what. Doing another 50 grand, I cut the grass for you every Saturday.
Look, folks, before we go too far, I've got something to tell you.
Excuse me, but I've got something to tell you first. Thank you for ruining my life.
Ashley!
I don't take it as being a very weighty pronunciation. I think cleanse is an interesting word. Why use that word? Is this like a religious
So going back to that, he says that the country needs to cleanse itself of Donald Trump's supporters. He's going after the supporters.
I spent 2 weeks in Europe 2-3 weeks ago, and I got to tell you, when people talk about U.S. politics, they talk about it in a way that they roll their eyes and what the hell's going on.
That there are going to be professional consequences for him. And, you know, it takes a good deal of bravery for someone like that to put themselves out there. I don't think he should necessarily be surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, I've seen it happen over and over again, and that's why Republicans in Hollywood have secret meetings. They don't advertise them. They meet among themselves and discuss.
We've had some of them sit right here on this couch and tell us that.
And they will deny.
And they have secret handshakes?
Elizabeth used to talk about that all the time before she left, even in television, which is different from Hollywood. You know, even working here in New York, she had that experience.
I mean, I think there's a lot of that going on.
Exemplified by the 2022 Oscars incident. His remarks align with a broader trend of celebrities leveraging their platforms to counter political divisiveness. For Trump, the feud exposes a vulnerability, his obsession with status and validation from cultural elites, despite his antagonism toward Hollywood. Trump's history of courting celebrity approval, only to pivot to attacking the same circles when criticized, underscores his transactional view of fame and power. Smith's willingness to challenge Trump reflects a cultural reckoning with authoritarian rhetoric, positioning unity and moral accountability against Trump's polarizing tactics. The feud also touches on themes of racial and national identity. Smith's emphasis on America as a space where he can exist freely despite its flaws directly challenges Trump's exclusionary policies and rhetoric. This framing resonates in ongoing debates about belonging, systemic inequities, and the role of leadership in bridging divides. Meanwhile, Trump's reliance on hyperbole and conspiracy theories to deflect criticism highlights his diminishing capacity to shape narratives beyond his core base. The public's fatigue with his tactics, juxtaposed with Smith's aspirational messaging, underscores a broader societal shift toward valuing empathy and cohesion over division. Ultimately, the clash represents more than a celebrity feud. It encapsulates competing visions of America. Smith's call to reach for our higher selves advocates for collective progress, while Trump's brand thrives on chaos and grievance. The episode reveals Trump's weakness when confronted by figures with cultural capital he cannot easily undermine. For Smith, the criticism reinforces his role as a public figure unafraid to engage in socio-political discourse, even at the risk of controversy.